Alright ladies, welcome to the final of the Enter the Storm. Today we have the best of 5 series finally between Bob and ATN Fancy. A best of 5 that starts off with a match on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and of course both of these teams have been playing an incredible tournament. In the winner bracket, ATN Fancy, they were successful, and through the losers bracket we actually saw Bob claiming now a second chance to take down ATN Fancy. In the winner bracket final, where they already played a best of 3 against each other, ATN Fancy was successful with a 2-1 victory, but right now it's a clean slate. It's a best of 5, and let's see if Bob can turn things around, or if ATN Fancy claims the title here in the grand final. As already mentioned, our first map is Tomb of the Spider Queen, and the setup that we have for the two teams is quite interesting. We've seen ATN Fancy already with very strong push strategies surrounding Sylvanas and Zagara, with a couple of warriors to protect them, and then just like trying to snowball the map. And they are approaching a very similar draft here, but we already had Bob banning out Zagara, trying to work especially against that particular strategy that ATN Fancy likes to use. They still picked up Sylvanas though, and they also have a Khaldor now for the additional damage. So still a bit the same strategy that ATN Fancy is trying to use here. Of course, a bit of an adjustment because of the bans that we saw during the draft. And for Bob, we have a different setup. They are actually using this together with double warrior again. They have a Leoric in their midst. They are also relying on Zeratul plus Jaina for damage, and Karazim, the monk, is in play for the heals. So guys, we're going to kick this best of 5 series off with the first game, Tomb of the Spider Queen. There is a $6,000 on the line for the first place. Second place still gets 3K, but still, you of course want to take the top spot. You want to take the 6,000 and also the prestige. So we're going to jump into game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. The grand final at the Enter the Storm. A best of 5 series between two of the top teams in Europe, the two teams that made it all the way to the finals. Coming from the winner bracket, it's ATN Fancy playing with Darkmog on Sylvanas, Nurok on Johanna, Crosby on Kel'Thas, Get Amhead on Malfurion, and Blumby on Mirrodin. And of course, from the loser bracket, we have Bob, and they took down Team Liquid. They also lost in the winner bracket to exactly this team, to ATN Fancy, but right now they want revenge, they want to redeem themselves. Aethera Angel on Leoric, Zarmony on Arthas, AD on Jaina, Bakery on Karazim, and Snitch playing Zeratul. This should be an amazing series here. It's the best of 5 that we have now, and let's find out which team is going to be able to take the lead here. At this point, they're starting to jump in, and immediately Aethera in a lot of trouble, but not dying just yet. He moves away with a Wraith Walk, and that was just in time. Team Liquid, they lost the last best of 3 series where they played against Bob, and they are therefore 3rd place in the tournament. They win $1,000 and also some hardware from Rocket, keyboards and mice. And in this particular match, there's of course not only prestige on the line, but we're also talking about $6,000 and a PC from Alienware for every single player of the winning team. Well, not the $6,000, they have to split those, but everybody gets a PC. And the second place gets $3,000 and also a complete set of keyboard, mice, and also headsets from Rocket. So a lot of hardware and money on the line when these two teams collide. And to the bot lane, look at that, Snitch already putting the pressure on Darkmog, as Johanna at the top lane is the first victim in the game. Bob is coming out of the gate swinging here. As the talents, we're seeing of course a lot of regeneration masters, and I've been talking about it during the draft. We're having in this case again no season marksman taken for Snitch, but he really favors to go into season marksman on this map, which gives him an incredible amount of lane sustain. For now, Darkmog and Snitch are both extremely low here. Darkmog should probably not stick around for too long. Gadamhead is moving in to heal him, and yeah, that was the time that Snitch was just about to move in and try and take him out. Zeratul laning. In this case, he can't really do too much up at the top lane, and they don't really have anybody that can go up against Darkmog in this case. It's really nice for Snitch to just like jump in and provide some damage, and they are already moving in. Here comes the Haunting Wave, and Darkmog trying to get away. Wow, nice dodge, but well, in the end, he dies regardless. So it's a second kill already for Team Bob, and a kill against them at the top lane where Karazim is taken out. It's a pretty cool setup that we have for both of the teams. It was very interesting to see especially Sylvanas taken after Zeratul was already on the map. Of course, Sylvanas is quite squishy, so she's one of the priority targets of Zeratul. But then again, if that Wailing Arrow hits Zeratul, he's going to be helpless for quite some seconds, so that's going to be quite nice. We have currently in the mid lane Zarmani and ADRD already in a position where they are about to turn in. The big asset of, or the big, like, what really makes Sylvanas so important and really turns her into an asset on this map is unstable poison on level 7, because it can burst down these waves and really have a lot of pushing power, especially against the web weavers. That can really help you. And at the bot lane, Sylvanas is already trying to show exactly that pushing power against Zeratul, who's always about to jump in and deliver some damage here. ADRD is also moving in, and they are trying to get the kill, but they just barely get it, and Snitch is moving away. So far, the Sylvanas pick is not working out for ATN Fancy. They played an amazing tournament, by the way. To a few people, it might still be a bit surprising to see them here in the final, but they have been playing an incredible winners match. They played against, of course, Bob already. They won the series with a 2-1. They took down so many strong opponents. One of them, Navi. They played Navi actually in the first round. And just like the coordination in the team fights of them is absolutely incredible. They also played on this particular map against Bob the last time, and they completely wrecked Bob. They took them apart. They stomped them so hard, like it was brutal to watch. And it was mostly thanks to Sylvanas together with Zagara. It was just something that Bob wasn't really prepared for. There was just way too much pushing power in the early game, and Bob couldn't really handle it. Lost the series then in the end with a 1-2, but right now they banned out Zagara at the beginning of the draft, a targeted ban against ATN Fancy, and so far, doing pretty well. 3 kills against 1. We see Retaliation, by the way, as a level 4 talent taken on Johanna, a very popular one. Oh, Snitch is getting taken out there, but at least the gems recovered for now, or are they? Because that Stormbolt is gonna hit Jaina, but is she gonna get away? Oh, yes, she is! Jaina gets away and secures all of the gems. Well played. Now, when it comes to gems, both of them roughly on the same amount of those. We're seeing, by the way, the Arcane Intellect taken. That surprises me just a bit, because Snowstorm is such an amazing talent on the map. Apparently, they really favor that deep chill here. A lot of Jaina players will switch that out a bit, and if they think that they have mana problems during the duration of the game, they just go for Conjurer's Pursuit on level 1, take Snowstorm then on level 4, and therefore mitigate that mana problem, but still get that extra radius on their Blizzard, which in this case didn't happen. Darkmog again on the run, but this time he actually escapes. And we see Conviction taken. Conviction over Battle Momentum, which is usually one of the talents that is taken for the continuous cooldown reduction. Again the kill, and this time Kel'Thas dies, but so does Zeratul. And it's a big battle here, actually, with everybody committing their heroes, except for Karazim, who's currently trying to turn in at the top lane and secure the first Web Weaver set for his team. Iceland's taken on 7 again for Jaina, and we're also seeing the Echo of Heaven now. At the same time, it's Unstable Poison, as already predicted for Sylvanas. I mean, that's what makes the hero so strong on this map. And also, one of the healing talents for Get Amhead with Enduring Growth. Both of the teams with a very solid experience here, but this is going to be a really cool best of 5. I'm a little bit giddy here, and I apologize, but this is just like absolutely brutal. We had so many good games this weekend already, and these two teams, they came out on top, and now they are going to decide which team will take the championship, which team will take the crown. The champion of Enter the Storm 2 is already out of the tournament. Team Liquid was defeated, as mentioned before, so we are going to crown a new champion either way, and once again they're jumping in here. No rockets, body blocked, and he dies. Blumby jumps away, Darkmog rushes in with a Shadow Dagger that he throws into play, but now he's also getting rather low and has to use the Haunting Wave again to jump away. Pretty decent Sylvanas play thus far, but of course not easy against the Zeratul, which resulted in a few deaths. Snitch even moving down to the bot lane to secure even more gems that they have now. The Web Weavers are defeated against, but at least they got a couple of towers out of that, and also elite in experience, as you can see there. We have then with level 9 nearly level 10 now, and that level 10 would of course be super important here for Bob. If they get that faster, then they might be able to turn in again, control the mid spots and the turn-in points, and therefore secure themselves another Web Weaver wave. If they can kill a hero here and drop his gems, that would be even better for them. But so far they're relying on the March of the Black King, Army of the Dead. We have also a Void Prison on Zeratul, which isn't really a big surprise. Divine Palm is going to come into play for Karazim. And we have the Water Elemental here. Theoretically, you could have gone into the Ring of Frost. That's actually what Team Liquid played in most of the games. But now we have the commitment to the bot lane, where it looks like Bob is going to try and take down the first fort here. They have those heroic abilities, and they are really playing this aggressive. We have in the mid lane, or up at the top, Snitch. He's trying to make sure that Blumby is not turning in. And, yeah, can still blink away. So he just buys them a bit more time. They're also getting the well down here after they already eliminated the fort, and now the rotation is happening, but it's a bit too late to really prevent the web weavers. But they still are ahead in the series. Nice Void Prism isolating 2, level 10 just now dropping, and Nurok is again being attacked against. Wailing Arrow has not been used yet. We see Sylvanas now coming in from the bot lane, but it's a good kill, and a timely kill as well. The web weavers just now descending. And that allows, of course, Bob to defend against those a bit safer. They're not running in any kind of trouble just yet, but there's still a 5 or 4 versus 4 in this case in the mid lane. And again, the commitment already. The silence arrow applied, but it is the Divine Palm. Zarmony is alive. Great play by Bakery. The perfect timing on this one. A lockdown thanks to Malfurion's root, but he can't stay alive. There's too much pressure play. Zarmony is still on the run, but there's all 5 heroes now in the mid lane, and Nurok is just a bit too late to really assist the team. The bot lane is getting deep pushed now as well, but at least the Web Weaver was able to do some damage. But now with AD already moving in and Snitch already on the hunt, they are going to take this out without any problems. Shadow Dagger applied again, top lane also defended, and it's an entire level lead that we're seeing for Bob. Great play, and 84 gems. They have 84 gems now that they can use, and they are going to try and turn in again. They will have still that lead in experience, but it's not a talent lead yet. They are rushing into the mid lane again. Snitch is already waiting to just deliver some damage. Blumby is still in that smoke screen, and they are just rotating, and especially Aethera Angel, of course, wants to turn in. Down here, there's Snitch, and up against Blumby once more, but there's also a bit of help arriving. You see Dartmok and Gerd Amher, so they are trying to lock down Zeratul, but that opens up an opening in the mid lane, or at the top, I should say, where they are turning in again. And Aethera Angel is delivering the last few gems that now get the Web Weavers into play for them once more. Down here, the turn-in attempt by Blumby is of course already too late. Nothing that he can do about that. If they hit level 13 when the Web Weavers arrive, that would be just absolutely brilliant for them. That would be peachy. I mean, they're already looking at a really good spot, but with an extra talent, that would be absolutely incredible. And it looks like they're going to try and go maybe for a tower here to drop level 13. Not yet. The mid lane wave, that's what they're focusing on. And they get it. Well, not quite. Not quite yet. There it is. And that allows them to push in even harder. Sylvanas, of course, has an easy time de-pushing the top lane. We've been talking already about Unstable Poison, and you can see it coming into play here. They burst that away within seconds. But now we have a double Relentless on Arthas and also Charism. And the Draining Hope, Crushing Hope actually, for Leoric together with an Ice Block and Wormhole. They go through that wall here. Bot lane is still being pushed, by the way, and the wall at the keep is being threatened in just a few seconds. Johanna is moving down though. She will be able to just push this back for now, but the top lane pressure is still real, and that fort is not going to make it either. Alternate Fancy is just pressured back right now. They are in a position where they can't really move out. They will not engage into a battle with the talent disadvantage. They know fully well how fast that can turn against them. They played the exact same style against Bob the last time that they faced each other in the winner bracket semi-final, and that didn't work out for them at all. So Snitch, Zarmony, Bakery, and ADR, they rotate from lane to lane, they take wave after wave, and now they have another 58 gems that they can turn in, and they are already doing exactly that. And if ADR just collects a few more up here, they get another Web Weaver wave. Just now here, 6, that's all that they need, and they're gonna get wave after wave and just try to keep that momentum going. The only thing that Alternate Fancy can do right now is try to move in and make sure that they at least have a Bruiser camp pushing the mid lane, but this one is going to be eliminated pretty soon as well. Nurok already rushing away, but yeah, the Bruiser camp of course is his chance. Red Web Weavers are once again descending. Bakery, Aethera Angel, Snitch, and Zarmony, they are already on the move, trying to find the next lane that they can push. They're actually moving up to the top lane for potential kill against Blumby, but he's already jumping away with his little dwarf there. But the Web Weavers are ready. And they are starting to already attack the towers, as we are seeing Alternate Fancy still busy in the mid lane. But now they have made, well, they are 2 levels behind, but they have at least a level 13 talent with a double spell shield. And of course those chain bombs, which are going to be super important. The Web Weavers are going to push the rest of the lanes now as well. Phoenix is already gone, Nurok far out, but can still move back here. And Malfurion is trying to zone them. A bit of damage already applied, but it's much more about the bot lane here and also about the mid lane, where the rest of the Web Weavers aren't going to do their thing. To the top lane, the Web Weaver is already down, but both of the teams are now starting to move in once again. Bakery is extremely low here, but Nurok is also about to drop. Gerd Amher uses Tranquility to keep them alive. Aethera Angel rushing away with his Wraith Walk, and all this time that they buy right now helps them. Stun against Zeratul, but the mid lane has already been pressured. The tower's not down just yet, but already suffering a lot of of damage into the bot lane, it is even a worse scenario. There's one tower already eliminated, and they actually go for boss. The balls on these boys, wow. They go for boss without the level 16 talent. Zarmony is there, Blumby knows what's happening, and they have to retreat. They were trying to sneak it in, but they did not get their wish granted, not in this case. This is not the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Norok is moving away, and they are apparently really going for a fight here without the level 16 talent. They could have waited a little bit longer, but they're just saying like, nope, screw that, and the kill against Sylvanas is proving them right. The first kill to start this off, and the Void Prism to prevent them from rushing away here. The cooldowns are going to be ready in a second, and here comes the kill against Norok. Norok dead, the gems lost, and they are pushing in again. Blumby is still there. He has 46 gems by now. Ethereal Angel jumps away, but the rest of the team is still going straight for the keep. And this is Bob with the level 16 talents that they now finally have. They have the Unyielding Despair, Stone Skin, Numbing Blast, Soothing Breeze once again over the Circle of Life, and of course the Rending Cleave. They take the keep, and now they are moving back with a 2-level advantage and a level 16 talent over their opponents. Mana is rather low though, especially on the Ethereal Angel, and he sacrifices himself here. Oh, or does he? Yes, it looks like he does. Nope, Muradin actually dies to Snitch, who jumped in deep. They're still turning around. The silence arrow hits though, and Zeratul is dead. And down goes maybe Karazim as well. Bob with a pretty greedy play here. They got the kill against Muradin, but then they went way too deep. They should have moved back when they had the opportunity to do so. Bakery and Ethereal Angel miraculously are still alive. Unbelievable. Ethereal is still way too far in. Can he move away again? It looks like he's going to sacrifice himself, and I mean, Leoric is the guy to do that. If you want to sacrifice a hero, then it's Leoric. So it ends up in a much better position for Team Bob than it should have been. But yeah, that was an extremely greedy play by them. And they kill Nurok. Oh my god. They are 3 versus 5, and they kill Nurok, who was just a bit too far out. So great plays here by Bob, but at the same time also a bit greedy. So in a few of these scenarios they should have maybe moved back a bit faster than they did, but they still get very nice kills out of all of this, and they find themselves now not only in the 2-level lead, but also in a position where they have eliminated the first keep of the opponent. They're trying to control the Quaternion spots again, gather a few of the gems, and they are back on the map with 5 heroes. So right now we have already everybody moving away here, at least when it comes to the mid lane. Yeah, Ethereal Angel is just like holding the mid lane. We have Zarmony with a quick look down to the bot lane. At the same time, it's of course the Bruiser camp that gets taken to the right side, so they were just like zoning it a little bit and making sure that nobody would disturb these 3 boys. At the same time here now we're having the bot lane camp attacked, and that's of course the Siege Giant camp that was already in position, but they are moving away from it. They want to prevent the turn in from their opponents, but it's now level 16 versus 16, and there is that Cold Embrace that we've been mentioning a bit earlier today. That's of course very well synergizing with the Lost Souls, and again the move also Blessed Hammer taken. This is a full Condemn build that we are seeing for Johanna. Nurok is using every single Condemn talent he can take. Great Divine Palm on Bakery again. He's using it here already. They're still ahead a little bit, but Gerdam here with that Tranquility is keeping everybody well alive, and the kill against Sylvanas. Still, Sylvanas pick has really not worked out for them. Bakery, whoa, wow, gets taken apart, and it looks like the stasis, yeah, the Icebook is just barely saving Jaina, but already everybody on the side of Alternate Fancy is dead. At least until Blumby jumped away. 4 heroes against 1, that's a trade that they are very happy about, of course. It was a fight on even talents, and they have played an absolutely great game here. They go for the boss, and they have every opportunity to take it now. Level 19 versus level 16. Bob is playing so well here. Alternate Fancy, I really just feel that that pick on Sylvanas didn't really help them. If they would have replaced Sylvanas, maybe with Reyna for example, I think they could have gotten much more out of this. Even if you do go for a hero that has a better escape and is not just like a fish in a barrel like Reyna oftentimes is when he's getting jumped, we would have probably gotten a bit more out of this. Because right now Sylvanas is just not panning out for them. The hit point pool is not high enough, and once that she gets locked down, she's basically a goner. She's a free kill just because there's so much Blizzard damage. There's also then Zeratul jumping in and doing even more. So in this case, there's very little that they can do with this. Up at the top lane right now, we're seeing the boss moving in, and that's also the Web Weavers that are being limited right now. Web Weavers actually turning around and saying like, yeah, screw that, you guys deal with that, I'm gonna back push the lane. And they're like, alright, you do that. But all of the lanes are already defended against. 61 gems in the hands of Bob also give them a pretty solid lead when it comes to the gem count, and they can get another Web Weaver set now. The thing is though that Bob is currently also about to hit level 20, and that's probably the bigger problem that Alternate has to face here. But they are again about to fight without the level 20 talent, aren't they? They should move back. They shouldn't even want to fight here. And yes, they do. Zero Angel can just like move away for now, and he does. But he is getting stunned. He's getting condemned. Bakery is there. Helps him with a heal. It's too much though. Divine Palm keeps him alive. Well played. Level 20 is not ready just yet, but they should any second. And Zero Angel is starting to move away. They need to wait for that level 20. It makes no sense to fight before that, but they let themselves be forced into that battle here. Already Void Prison used. They're moving in. Johanna is low, but also Leoric about to drop, still no level 20, and Zero Angel is about to die here. There's the 20. Kel'Thur's dead, and the Hardened Shield saves for now Leoric. They lose Zeratul, but they kill Johanna, and they are also about to kill Sylvanas if she comes close again. And it looks like, at least for now, Malfurion is going to be the next victim here, but Blumby, I don't think he's going to make it either. Another quad kill, but it's really like a life on the edge that they are living here. They go in for these fights even when they don't have to, just barely before level 20 is hit, and they could have lost this. They could have lost Leoric early on. That could have turned it into a 4 versus 5, and if that happens, then they are in a really shitty spot. They might lose that level lead that they have. So even though it all works out for Bob in the end, they are really playing a very greedy game in that regard. So they should probably play this a bit safer in these situations, but it works out for them quite well. And I mean, let's face it, they have played an amazing game here. It's 19 kills against 7, and they're going for core right now. They have a level 20 talents, and they are determined to put it to use. But with only 10 seconds on those heroes, I don't think they can really end the game just yet. Would have maybe been even a bit smarter for them to go for the rest of the keeps. But if they get a kill here, oh, and they do, don't they? Yeah, they do, against Kel'Thur's. That should really end the game now, together with the Web Weavers here. No more living bombs, and that's the important part. They are rather low, though. A Zero Angel about to die. Looks like Jaina needs a Divine Palm here, too. And, of course, on level 20, what we saw for Karazim is also him using that additional talent. Again, the lockdown, and there's the kill, and they jump away. The Web Weavers are there, finally also snitch back to business. In the mid lane, the keep is being attacked. Let's see if they can at least take this one. Bob is starting to make a couple of really bad decisions here. They had a chance to take more keeps, they decided against it. They lost already a lot of hit points on the heroes, and now they basically wasted an entire Web Weaver wave, and everything else didn't get anything out of it. They allowed Alternate Fancy to get extremely close to experience. It's now nearly level 20 for them, and I'm a little bit blown away. They got nothing out of this wave. Nothing. They got nothing out of that level 20 lead that they just had. And by the way, we only saw Storm Shield. I actually thought he went for the Reposal talent, but he didn't. Wow. Bob? I don't know, like, you guys might be a bit too greedy with what you're playing right now. I think he used that talent because they thought they would go for core, and he just said like, yep, go for core, take Storm Shield right now, that's all that we need. Usually it's the level 20 talent for Divine Palm that he takes, and by now we're having Hardened Shield. Sylvanas is going to be very happy about the Bolt of the Storm. And we're going to see a double Storm Shield for them. So this is now one of these situations where Bob could actually still lose the game. They played an amazing match here, but it's not over yet, and they are only one keep ahead. Out of all of this, they have twice the kills of their opponent, but out of all of this, the only thing that they get is a lead in keeps, and that's only one. Zero Angel is already dead in the fight. Level 20 versus level 20, and they are starting to move in again, and this time it's Alternate Fancy who are really starting to make the plays here. Down to the bot lane, though, there's a Siege Giant camp, and this Siege Giant camp is going to wreck. It's going to take down that keep eventually if nobody takes care of it. Blumby is getting rather low, and even with 4 heroes, they're still chasing. They're still moving in with 4 heroes. They go for Get Amherd, and they're about to take him down here. A Zero Angel is back. Now they are back to 5, and they get the kill. Malfurion is down. Zarmany and the rest of the team are already rushing in. Darkmok is dead, and this is Bob putting an end to things. They take Kel'Thur's down, and this looks like another team wipe. Nurok already eliminated. Blumby is trying to jump away, and yes, he does. At the bot lane, by the way, have to keep already on half health, but it shouldn't really matter anymore. I think at this point they can just simply move through and finish the game. They don't even have to go for the keep, but at this point it already slows them down. So in passing, they still take a few of the hit points on. Bakery, by the way, is still in a situation where he's thinking about taking down Blumby, but I don't think that he can close the distance, and they are already going for core. But that got scary for a couple of seconds again. Bob could have lost this game. If the last fight ends differently, then it's all over. But yeah, in this case, it is Bob with the lead in the best of 5 series here, the grand final of the Enter the Storm. Great play by Bob. And we are, of course, going into game number 2 with the lead for Bob in the series here against ATN Fancy. Game number 1 taken by Bob. They are in the lead. So after losing to ATN Fancy in the winner bracket final, here in the grand final now they are ahead in the best of 5 series. And our second map is Sky Temple. Of course, the map choice of ATN Fancy in this case right now. Bob is ahead in the series and they're going to try to make this a 2-0. They are running Zeratul again on this map, but this time Zeratul is actually having a bit of a problem because he's going up against the triple warrior strategy that ATN Fancy is using against him. So he will have a pretty tough time staying alive and really getting some value out of these team fights. When we're looking at the warrior setup for Bob, there's also another novelty. We have Sonya again in play. Khaldor in the backline is going to try and provide quite some damage. Jaina was picked up by ATN Fancy in this case, but Bob is relying on said Sonya and also on Johanna. And this is of course a chance for them to get far ahead in the best of 5 series here. But ATN Fancy, on Tomb the Spider Queen, they played a pretty solid map still. They weren't successful, but they really showed throughout the winner bracket and also in this series already that they are a tough team to beat, and they will have to prove that once again on Sky Temple, which is their map choice, of course. So guys, we're going to jump into game number 2 in Sky Temple at the end of the Storm Grand Final. Game number 2 in the best of 5 series at the grand final of the Enter the Storm 3. To the left side of the map we have Alternate Fancy. The team is down 1 map in the best of 5 series. Alternate here with Darkmok on Anubarak, Crosby on Jaina, Norok on Arthur, Scaramhead on Uther, and Muradin played by Blumby. So a triple warrior setup for the team. And to the right side of the map we are seeing Bob, and they play Bakery on Rhaegar since Charism was banned out, a target ban on the side of Bob. We have Ethereal Angel on Johanna. Eminem is being controlled by Zarmony, aka Sonya. We have Snitch on Zeratul and ADRD playing Khaldor. The second game in the best of 3 series, and already here Warpaint taken. Heal is all that Sonya needs. Self-sustain is going to be incredibly important for her. They are going up against the triple warrior setup. That's of course a lot of melee heroes. In theory, actually, already talked about it a bit during the draft, there was a chance for Bob to even pick Gazlowe. They have a Void Prison as a setup for potential Grabber Bomb, and if you're going up against 4 melee heroes, in this case of course including Uther as he's a melee support, then you have a very good chance to get the maximum out of all of these stuns, the Grabber Bomb ultimate, and also of course the towers with the potential slow. So obviously nobody really trains on the European server with Gazlowe, but still, if there was a composition where we could have seen him, it is definitely this one. They decided to go into Sonya instead, and that's of course also quite interesting here, since Sonya together with Johanna will have to do a very good job to keep all of these melee warriors away from the backline, and that's exactly what they are going to try and do here. Bot lane, Zarmony and Darkmok going up against each other, and up to the top lane we have Crosby and Blumby. All of the teams just soaking experience for now. And with the talents, we're seeing a lot of Regeneration Master talents taken here. Zarmony already down here at the bot lane, and Sonya has been played quite a bit this weekend. She needs to try and dodge these stuns, but especially with the Whirlwind, she has a lot of self-sustain there. And Darkmok is currently experiencing that firsthand. Has to rush away there, and he just got Sonya'd. So, to the mid lane, Snitch is of course sneaking around on Zeratul here. And Norok locks him down for now. We have a double Regeneration Master as mentioned before. One for Norok and the other one also for the Beetle. So the Cockroach is trying to use that. Bakery is currently up at the top lane together with the ADR. He is of course rocking Khaldor here, and they're starting to push this away. Oh, and a good kill against Jaina. Another thing that you really have to also think about is that of course once that level 13 is hit, Khaldor is going to have a really fun time. What happens if you have 4 melee heroes in your team? Well, they clump up during team fights quite a bit, and if you then also have a Johanna in your own team that is trying to just pull them in the entire time, the chain bomb party can start, and Khaldor is going to be pretty eager to spread the fun, so that's what he's going to try and do. A slight lead in experience has been established already, and nothing really to speak about just yet, but if Zero Angel is getting dropped, so yeah, that was a bit too greedy from him. Crosby also here moving away, trying to get ADRD, and there's Get Amhead with a stun. Yeah, well, he's dead. He is already there. That's like watching an accident about to happen. Him trying to run away there and getting flanked from the side now as well. Snitch blinks away, leaves Bakery for the Wolves, but Bakery with his own wolf form is able to get away for now. So, in terms of the level 4 talents, there's nothing really which is like too much of a surprise if you've been watching the entire week. Because we have, of course, a double focus attack taken, one for Sonya, the other one for Snitch. On the level 1, the first 3 talents on Sonya usually go for damage talents, and then on level 13 and 16, this is where we have the sustain talents come into play for her. We have retaliation also on Johanna, and for people that tune in here for the first time in the End of the Storm tournament, that might be something that they didn't really expect, but it is the most popular talent on the hero these days, and the build has changed a little bit. So Sonya players have adjusted their build just recently, and they are just trying to get as many condemns out as possible. On level 7, you oftentimes still see not battle momentum taken, but instead there's the option to go for full condemn, which you sometimes see as well. But yeah, it is very, very popular to just like go for a full cooldown reduction. The level 7 talents with the adjustment for Jaina to go into Frost Armor against not only Sonya in this game, but also against, of course, Zeratul. It's the anti-melee assassin talent that you want to take there. Clairvoyance has been already used by Uther. I like it that there's an adjustment on Uther, because in this case there's no real point for him to go into Clairvoyance, sorry, not Clairvoyance, but Cleanse. There's of course a couple of things that you could use it for, but nothing really that important that you cannot simply drop it and get more vision on the map, which is always going to be helpful throughout the entire game. Follow through already being used on Sonya, aka Eminem, and we're having first aid on the side of Zeratul, who also went into Regeneration Master on level 1. Snitch has been playing the hero with his exact same build throughout the entire weekend, and well, it has worked out for them, but it's a bit of a shift from that Zeratul assassin with the auto attack builds that has been used for quite some time right now with level 1 seasoned marksman and then also follow through talents taken later on in the game. For now, though, we have the temple at the bot lane activated, and both of the teams are on level 7 and are starting to move in here. Battle momentum it is for Johanna, and we have a cleanse for Rhaegar that's going to help against that triple warrior setup. And those triple warriors are also enjoying the fun down here. Clustering up a bit, but ADRD has only the fission bombs ready and no level 13 talent yet. The top lane is currently fought over by both of the bruiser camps that were taken earlier, and no commitment down here, at this point at least. 1 kill against 2, ADRD is about to move in again. Sonya at the front line, gets stunned once, gets stunned twice, gets hit points back thanks to Whirlwind, but it's not enough. They tried to at least go for a counter kill here, and Darkmock was low, but he got away. Nice condemn against 4, and Bloomby, unbelievable, no, he does not get away. He drops, and Nurok might actually die too. Yes, he does. Get Amhead low as well, but he heals himself just a second before he's been taken out. Closer to level 10, that's where we are seeing now Team ATN Fancy, but they are about to lose one of those towers, and that is probably going to turn that around in experience. Bot lane shots have been soaked up. The tower survives, at least for now. We have no mule by neither one of these teams, and it's going to be the faster heroic ability for ATN Fancy. They get it here with, of course, Divine Shield. We're having also Water Elemental taken. The rest of the tanks could even decide to go into a few of the utility talents. If you have a triple warrior setup, you don't necessarily need to go into the Locust Swarm. We have already, though, the Army of the Dead taken, and that makes especially Arthur's extremely tanky. And if, well, maybe an Uberag is jealous and just says like, alright, if Arthas goes into the sustain talent, then I want to take that too. I don't want to feed here. Talking about feeding, Nurok, whoa, he walked the wrong way for sure. And a great Void Prism. Wow, they are not done yet. They have their heroics now. Wrath of the Berserker is used, Void Prism activated. They use Phoenix, and they were trying to lock them down with the Blessed Shield. They don't get a kill out of this one, which is a bit odd. Sonya actually taking a lot of damage there, but at least they have for now 4 kills against 3 and a slight advantage. So Bob is playing this quite well. They are already in the lead in the best of 5 series here in the grand final, but we have still a slight lead in experience for ATN Fancy. That kill was an important one though, and keep also in mind that with the setup that they are running, both of the teams have quite a bit of damage to burst that boss down, especially of course with Wrath of the Berserker coming in. Zarmany at the later stage of the game, he's going to have a pretty easy time dropping a boss here with just a bit of help. In the mid lane, or at the bot lane I should probably say, we have now the wave defended against. Level 11 for both of them, and there are the towers to consider still. To the top, it is ADRD starting to move in, and the Phoenix is really helping to put the pressure onto these forts here. So ADRD about to go straight in with another Flame Strike, and he's going to drop this, but they are losing the fort down to the bot lane, and therefore both of the teams in the same situation. The last time that we've seen Alternate Fancy go up against Bob, Alternate Fancy was successful in the best of 3 series in the winner bracket semi-final. We also had them play on this map, and Bob won most of the fights and got themselves a very solid lead when it came to the kill count, but it was a lot better for, at least in the beginning of the game, was a lot better for Alternate Fancy when it came to the structures. They always moved in and took those apart, and they are about to do the same thing again, or at least trying to. The teams are both on level 12 now, and are sharing again the temples here. Oh, the lockdown and the potential kill against Gerd Amherd, but he uses the Divine Shield on himself and gets away for now. Phoenix was already used, and both of the teams aiming for the level 13 talent, but of course a few of the heroic abilities are already in cooldown, Blessed Shield amongst them as well as Divine Shield. We're seeing the bot lane still soaked by Blumby, and the level 13 talents are important to both of the teams here, but it hits a little bit faster for Alternate Fancy. We're having them with a talent already with an improved Ice Block, Spell Shield. And now with those tanks, Burning Rage is of course going to be important. One is being used, and then we have a Thunder Strike here, as Uther goes for the Shrink Ray for control against Zeratul. Shrink Ray in general is a great talent if you want to control a melee assassin. It was used for the longest time against Illidan in particular, but now Snitch is another one they want to take out. And, well, they really, yeah, there it is already. And they also go for the stun, and Snitch is like, screw that. Yep, that did not work out at all. 5 hero hate against the melee assassin, and Snitch probably not too happy about this one. Yeah, they didn't really see that coming, and he just gets bottled into the ground. But they actually go for boss now. Wow, Zarmany is there, and keep in mind that Phoenix is going to be ready in another 14 seconds and have the chain bombs already. ADRD is moving in, and he is going to spread the fun. Chain bombs everywhere, and this is maybe going to be a boss steal. They're going in. It's a 4 versus 5, but they still try and take it. Ethereal Angel gets healed, but Zarmany is dead. Bombs everywhere. Bomberino. And they're taking it! They take it! No, they don't! Bakery drops! It's nearly a team kill, but yeah, Snitch is a bit too late. Great play by Alternate Fancy. I mean, yes, it worked out in their favor. It was a 4 versus 3 trade. And I mean, considering that in this case it was actually a 4 versus 5 fight from the start, Alternate Fancy, I don't want to say they lost the battle, but it was definitely a bit closer than they probably thought it would be, thanks to the chain bombs here. But with Snitch taken out, they made the right choice. And this is one of the things that I really love about Alternate Fancy right now. They have these clutch calls where they're saying, hey, we have this one chance right now. We have a tiny window. It's only 10 seconds, but we have it. So just do something with it. And there's so many teams that would have not gone for boss, or at least abandoned it, but they just go through with it and they say, we got this, we got this, we got this. And they are proven right. So they take the boss, and they find themselves in a solid spot now, with a faster level 16 and also 2 temples on the map. We have, of course, also a few of the giants now taken, but what exactly is now Bob gonna do? I mean, they don't have the level 16 talent. It's not gonna take too long, but still, they can't really fight for anything at this point. They're trying to depush the top lane with ADRD, and the chain bombs are gonna make that possible quite easily, especially if you also commit the Phoenix to it. Bot lane temple has not really been soaked yet. The temples are both ready, and 16 should be here in a second now for them as well. There it is, I want to say. Not quite, but it will be. And tick, tick, boom. There it is, level 16, and therefore Rending Cleave as expected against this melee heavy setup. We're also seeing now the tidal waves after Healing Surge, and after Burning Rage, it should actually be the Blessed Hammer. Sins Exposed would, of course, again, and it is the Holy Renewal for, Sins Exposed is level 7 talent, but the Holy Renewal, no, the 13? I don't know. So the Holy Renewal here for the sustain. I really like to have that Blessed Hammer for them, but in this case it didn't really work out. So the boss and the bot lane, of course, didn't really do too much. Didn't even like scratch the keep here, but they have to defend. Sonia's at the top lane. She has the sustain that they need. Backdraft has been taken on Kel'Thas. I like that. Normally it's a talent that you can't really take because you need the Arcane Barrier, but there's very little potential for that heavy warrior setup to really dive deep enough to threaten Kel'Thas if he stays safe. And all that slow against melee heroes is great. Here's the Divine Shield, and they're trying to move in. Already the attempt to take it down, but yeah, Kel'Thas needs to stay way more in the back. Way more, and now he dies, and well, they lose most of their damage. I like the backdraft, to be honest with you. I know that in this particular scenario, Arcane Barrier would probably have helped them, but backdraft, if he plays safe, is a great talent to just control these 4 melee heroes that we're seeing on the side of Alternate Fancy. But it might not even come to that. Sonya is dead, and Alternate Fancy is just saying like, yeah, screw that. 12 minutes in, that's enough. We're gonna take the corner. So they focus on the core, and the triple warrior setup is working wonders for them. Great play here by Alternate Fancy, and they tie the series. That's what we expected. That's what we want from the finals. The series is tied, the best of 5, and we are heading into game number 3 between Alternate Fancy and Team Bob. And Alternate Fancy, they tie the series. They take the game on Sky Temple, especially, of course, that boss fight was extremely crucial there. But a great play by Alternate Fancy and a great performance on the map in general. Very well done here. And Bob falling victim to their strategy, to the triple warrior composition. And therefore the series is tied, and we are going into map number 3, Shire. And again, very cool compositions here. Alternate Fancy looked at the last game, they were saying like, hey guys, that worked out really well, let's just do it again. Triple warrior is what they're relying upon once more. And in the case of Team Bob, we once again see that Zeratul. They were able to claim Zeratul in every single game that they played thus far against Alternate Fancy. And together with Zeratul, they have not only Johanna, but they also said, you know what? We're gonna go into Chen here. So we are seeing the Drunken Panda once again, and let's find out if he can be successful. For the heals we have against Karazim, and the teams are actually like starting to fight for Karazim here a bit. Alternate Fancy has proven throughout the winner bracket that they rely on the hero quite a lot, and of course also Bob is extremely, like, they prefer to play Karazim here. Bakery is extremely good on the hero. Those Divine Palms are absolutely amazing, and Alternate Fancy picked up on that already, and which is exactly why Bob is now forced to pick the hero very early during the draft, because Alternate Fancy has already shown that they like to ban him out. When it comes to the extra damage on the side of Bob, we have a Kel'Thas now in the mix. The series is tied. It is a best of 5, and we're going to jump into game number 3 to find out which team is going to take the lead. Game number 3 in the best of 5 series. The series is tied. We have a 1-1, and guys, it is time for the BFP, the Big Fat Panda. To the right side of the map, it is Team Bob, and they play Karazim on Bakery. Well, Bakery actually on Karazim. Zarmany playing Johanna, Snitch on Zeratul, and Ethereal Angel on Chen, the Big Fat Panda, back in play. ADRD on Kel'Thas, and to the left side of the map, it is Alternate Fancy with Dartmok on Anubarak. We have Crosby on Zagara, Giat Amherd on Rhaegar, Bloomby on Muradin, and Norok on Arthas. And, well, you already caught up on that, of course. We have a triple tank once again. Triple tank is being played here, and Chen, well, he is of course a very happy fella, but right now he is going to have to try and really withstand all this melee pressure. Talking about pressure, Snitch is being hunted again. He already was quite annoyed by the hate in the last game. I mean, that even led to them losing the game there when the boss was taken, and then afterwards they lost another fight. But right now they're still hunting Zeratul, and here comes again Chen, Ethereal Angel, of course, on level 1 with the Regeneration Master. The same talent we're seeing for Zeratul, Anubarak, and also Arthas, and a lot of fights already happening up in the mid lane here. The party is on, and we're seeing as additional talents now also Zagara, of course, with Reconstitution, as Knight takes pawn, and Transcendence for Karazim, which was, by the way, the first pick on the side of Bob, because, well, there was a ban on Uther, and they just decided they would take Karazim before Alternate Fancy picks it. It's one of the things that I love in general about best of 5 series, but this final in particular, the tournament, you need to really realize where these teams are coming from, right? This is the grand final, and they have been playing against each other in the winner bracket semi-final already. And this tournament has been going on for 3 days right now. So they have studied a lot of the plays, a lot of the matches that have been played right now. They analyzed the opponent's drafts. So a lot of the bans that you see here and a lot of the picks that are taken are really just mind games, trying to make sure that you get into the head of your opponent, that you pick something away that they really like. We've seen bans against Thrall, for example, earlier. We've seen a ban against Charism in one of those games, just because the teams realize which are the high priority picks for my opponent, and they are trying to screw with that as much as they can. And of course, as both of them play Charism, they are just like trying to fight for these heroes. In this case, they are moving straight in. Bakery and ADRD are already in position. We have Crosby now to the left side in position to push them back. And the creep spread is helping him to just see exactly what's coming his way. Harrison, by the way, is taking a lot of damage here. And especially if you go up against the Zagara, those Hydras do so much damage. Chen is currently up to the top lane right now. And we're having a Thero Angel in position here on him with Darkmog as well. On level 4, of course, the talent that we'll see for the Fatty is Amplified Healing. And he is already hitting the jug again, or he will in a second. And we have as additional talents now Darkmog even with a move straight into the Legion of Beetles again. Not going to go for that laning talent where he could go the AoE on his auto attacks and then later on level 7 on his W, which is so far has of course not taken since we're on level 4. But we also have the switch into Sledgehammer with Destruction now, but with a Zeratul in the mix and a couple of heroes that also dish out more of their damage with auto attacks, he still went into Reverberation. Darkmog already rushing away and even has to be back. Usually there's somebody to take over here, and he's starting to... Okay, he's starting to wait because Arthas is going to make his way up to the top, and we're having Gerdam here taking over the experience in the mid lane right now. If you really need to go back to the fountain, you usually have one of your teammates rotate over to really help out there. The Thero Angel actually hitting the jug again, and there in comes also Snitch with additional damage against Darkmog, but Athero is getting rather low. He's of course soaking as much of the tower ammunition as he possibly can with this as well. And to the bot lane, there's still the pressure play between ADRD and Bakery going up against Crosby and Bloomby. Pretty fun game so far already, a lot of pressure here, a lot of rotations on the map. Also, Zeratul just roaming, trying to get the extra damage in. Snitch relying on the build that he's been showcasing throughout the weekend with Regeneration Master into on level 7, most likely also again First Aid. And with the tie in the series, this is a pretty important game. If you win here, then you have 2 matches left at least, where you only have to win 1 map to take the title. $6,000 prize money for the first place and another $3,000 for the second place, not even to mention the hardware from Alienware and Rocket that are on the line too. So that's quite a bit of money, and it's also about the prestige here, of course, winning the tournament. Level 7 a bit faster for ATN Fancy, and they take indeed now the talent for the Urticating Spines on Anubarak to at least have some pressure play. We also have on the Brewmaster's Balance taken, a very common talent to take on level 7. And in addition to that, we are seeing Earth Shield for Rhaegar. So pretty cool builds that we have so far by the heroes. We did not see the Retaliation talent taken on level 4 for Johanna, but instead it's the Laws of Hope with additional sustain for the hero, but still some cooldown reduction at least. So that's exactly what's happening right now. And to the bot lane, it's exactly that 2 versus 2, with Chen still holding on to the top shrine here. So it's very good control from both of the teams, but Bloomby is getting rather low on his hero, and Zarmany is now rotating in as well. They're trying to claim the shrine, and they have Zeratul in the mid lane just waiting, and there's control on both of the shrines, with Snitch and Zarmany trying to zone them here, and this is going to be the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight taken for Snitch, a great move here, 5 minutes into the game, and they make a play, and they get the Dragon Knight because of it. Arthas gets a kick in the behind and is getting blown away by that, and Snitch is just hammering down on the towers, whereas up to the top lane it's of course still Chen versus, well, Darkmog, but you can really tell Chen doesn't give, like, he doesn't care. He just jumps in deep, and a Thero Angel in this case can just like soak the tower ammunition even more, and both of the towers are already low. The towers down here are taken. Snitch is rotating again into the bot lane, as you can see here. Bakery and ADRD together with Zarmany are starting to pressure again with the tri lane. Very well done. top lane play. Athero Angel is still making the Dark Mox's life a living hell, but there is help coming already, and here's Norok and Crosby, and that might be a bit too much for the Panda to handle. He's on the run, and he actually gets away. So Chen being a nuisance as usual. To the bot lane, we're seeing Bakery together with the Blumby still fighting it out on lane, but of course the level 10 abilities are very soon hitting, and that's a tiny window that we are going to see for Team Bob, but I'm not quite sure if they're really going to get anything out of it. I doubt it, to be honest with you. Phoenix, Divine Palm, Blessed Shield taken. No heroic ability for Chen just yet. Here's the Storm, Earth and Fire, and they are actually starting to make a play in the mid lane against Zagara, and they get the kill. They jump in with a 10 and take her down. At the same time, the heroic ability is now in play for Alternate Fancy. Just a bit too late to save Zagara here. More Ancestral Healing, Avatar have already been chosen. And we still see the choices for, well, they haven't really taken their talents yet. Nubarak and Arthur's, both of them have opportunities to go into a utility place here, but they didn't, at least not so far. Well, there it is, Syndragosa, utility talent taken, and a big fight over the Siege Giant camp down here. Already the Void Prism used, the Siege Giants in the hands of Bob, and they go in with a Condemn, not hitting actually, and a Great Maw. Wow, that hit 3 heroes, and Snitch blinks away immediately. Bakery dashes out of it, but there was already the Phoenix in play, so that helped out at least for now. And yeah, they are definitely not getting around here, are they? 1 kill only, but boy do we see a lot of aggression out of these two teams. Athero Angel is still pushing the top lane back, and he was able to take down tower number 1, and he's already going for tower number 2. The thing that Chen can do is just soak damage. I actually am very curious to see how exactly that particular talent looks for him later. I mean, just look at that. Amount of damage taken. It's not the best stat, I'm fully aware of that. It's not really one of these things that you look at it and saying like, oh my god, it's so unbelievably relevant. But in this case, it's just fun to see that Chen has actually 34,000 damage taken already. If you compare that to Arthur's or to like even any of the other heroes that we see in here, like an Uburak, then that's such a massive difference. It's more than twice the amount. He just like Chen's special ability is that he's really good at getting beaten up. That's what he really excels at. That's what he's really good at. He's one of the fat kids at school that gets bullied every time in the schoolyard, and by now he matured, he grew up, and well, he still gets beaten up, but he has learned to take a punch, and that's exactly what he's here for. Blumby up at the top. He's trying to take him out, has absolutely no chance there, and is jumping away now. Snitch capturing that shrine together with the rest of the team, and they are rotating over again. Zagara actually down to the bot lane is attempting to steal it away. That's not gonna happen. Oh my god, that was close. It's happening in the last second, but that was a really close call there. If not for Norok diving deep for this one, that would have been ended up with another Dragonite for them. The problem that of course Alternate Fancy faces now is that they have the chain bombs up against them. And yep, that will make things a little bit more difficult. To the top lane, Snitch is pushing this already, and we have both of the shrines again under their control. A 3 versus 2 in the mid lane, but the rotation should be happening fairly soon. But Nubarak already claiming the shrine to the bot lane. Oh, in this case didn't really work out with Syndragosa. Syndragosa and more synergy not completed, and a kill against Arthur's to punish him for that. So, well, down here we have also the setup with the Void Prison that could potentially drop Zagara. They're going for her, but not in range for Condemn. They might be able to body block her again, though, and they're really going deep for that. Snitch jumps in, and this is a triple kill right now. Nubarak, Zagara, and Arthur's are all dead, and we are seeing them jump into the mid lane right now. Storm, Earth, and Fire utilized. Chen, of course, on level 13 went for Relentless. We're seeing Burning Rage taken on Johanna, who dishes out a bit more damage, and they are just like all moving straight into the mid lane for additional damage. The Dragonite has been captured in the meantime as well. The 13 talent, yeah, it's gonna be there for Alternate Fancy, but let's just face it, this is a disaster right now for the team. They fought their way back once after Bob took the lead in the series, and they might have to do that again, because at this point they're falling far behind in experience. They're 2 level down already, and down to the bot lane we are still seeing Zarmany on his Johanna. Then Snitch is rushing in with the Dragonite. The big battle axe swung again by the Dragonite. And I guess one of the reasons why he's actually getting so unbelievably strong here is that he is just ugly. Let's be honest here for a second. I feel like personally this is one of the ugliest Dragonites that I've ever seen in my entire life, and I would hit hard as well if I was so ugly that I'm a little bit ashamed and I would just like try to destroy everything in my path, because I need to vent that rage somewhere. But besides that happening, we also have a massive battle here with the Phoenix employed, Ancestral Healing saving at least for now Blumby. He's rushing away again, but Nuruk is also starting to get extremely low. He has no Army of the Dead this time, so he needs to be a bit more careful. A good more for the disengage that saved them for now. If you play triple warrior, then you are just in the perfect... You're basically supplying ADRD with the perfect setup. They are enablers. Alternate Fancy, they are chain bomb enablers, and we all know how much damage chain bomb can actually do if heroes cluster up. And that could happen, especially with Johanna moving in with a condemn. Just think about those 4 melee heroes that they have, Rhaegar included, to just like go close to Johanna. Suddenly that chain bomb hits and Johanna says like condemn, and boom, the party goes. So that would be exactly the perfect scenario for Bob. But of course, we're also going to see a couple of talents then that are trying to prevent that. Level 13, I mean, Biting Cold has been taken here. We see the healing surge. Rhaegar is going to be the one that has to heal out most of the chain bomb damage over the duration of the game. We also have now, well, with 16, no backdraft taken. This time he's actually saying like, alright, I'm not going to do it again. I still like it. I still like backdraft against this many melee heroes. I think it's a pretty cool talent. You get so much control out of it, but you need to make sure that your hero is super safe in the back and does not move forward. If he gets jumped, then he's just dying too fast. But I love the talent and the utility that he offers in the team fights. For now, we have also now Circle of Life taken in this case, Holy Renewal as well, and the Rending Cleave. So the teams are just like rotating around again. Snitch is moving into, well, he's actually trying to look what's happening at the Bruiser camp, and as long as he can't prevent them from taking it, it's going to be fine. They're going to the top lane again, and Alternate Fancy is not willing to fight. They are not willing to fight this at all. Without the level 16 talent, hell no. Nope. Not gonna happen. Darkmoor and Gedamherd are down at the bot lane right now, and they are also stealing that camp away. So things are actually starting to get quite annoying there. By the way, at this point also, like I'm just looking at the portraits up there, it looks like Alternate Fancy is playing Team Bad Teeth. Just look at the teeth of Anubarak, Zagara, and also Rhaegar. The only 2 heroes that they're missing right now are Stitches and Butcher, and they are probably having a Dentist's Wet Dream assembled there. That's a lot of money. You can make a living of that. But, well, that being said, the 16 talents are finally ready for them, and that is exactly what they need to defend the Dragonite. The problem is they couldn't even prevent it. Up at the top lane, we still see a Thero Angel playing PvE and going straight for his Gen plays. Gen now on the level 16 talent with a pressure point. I don't really think I pointed it out yet, but yeah, pressure point really working out for him, so he can even prevent a few heroes from rushing away maybe, and using that with his kick to jump in deep. At the same point, we also have now with Tidal Waves finally a couple of tools that Alternate Fancy can use. They still have a chance to come back into this. They haven't lost the keep yet. The problem that they're running into is that every single time in these team fights, they are getting the short straw. Once again, Bakery jumps away with the dash, saves himself, but we see Nuruk and Darkmoor going deep. Great Ancestral Healing, keeping Anubarak alive, but the condemn, and everywhere the bombs, of course. We already saw them earlier. ADRD should have the cooldown ready in a few seconds, and they're pushing everybody back again. Gedamherd low, Blumby. Here come the bombs again. They're getting them in, and God, they go deep. Especially with the Storm, Earth, and Fire. The Dragonite is still there for another 3 seconds, and they take down the keep. The keep is gone in level 19 versus 16, so now Bob can retreat for now. A Thero Angel takes the back entrance. He's just saying like, alright, look at that, I'm gonna go over that tower. So he's jumping. How would that look in real life? A panda jump over a tower? I'm not quite sure, but probably pretty funny. Didn't look so funny to Alternate Fancy, and they are still attempting to take one of these fights. They need to make it happen for level 20, and level 20 is just like so close. Oh, great kill against Rhaegar. And again, bombs everywhere. Bomb galore, that's what we're seeing right now. We have Crossbeam, Darkmoor, Nuruk, and Blumby just on the run, and Crossbeam is not even making it. Down goes Sagara, and that's level 20 any second now for for Team Bob. And now they take here the Resposal, Peaceful Repose, and they are going straight for a core. They already use, that is actually a nice attempt here with Syndragosa to maybe turn things around. Can they defend here? Nuruk, Darkmoor, and Blumby, the triple warrior, are going deep, but it doesn't really look like they have the damage they need to really this approach, and it looks like this is going to be the 2-1 lead in the best of 5 series at the Enter the Storm finals. Job well done, and game number 4 coming up in just a bit in the grand final. That was a pretty cool play there by Bob, I'm not gonna lie, especially that Chen really like pulling his weight. Very well played by Bob, they take the lead again. It's a 2-1 currently in this best of 5 series in favor of Bob. Alternate Fancy, they lose on Shire, and they decide to play on Battlefield of Eternity as the next map. And potentially this could be the last map. If Bob takes it here, then it's a 3-1 victory, and they are the champion of the Enter the Storm 3, but of course Alternate Fancy, they want to tie this series again and force Bob into game number 5. The composition this time for Alternate Fancy, they actually stole Zeratul away, so now it's them playing Zeratul here, and they also have a Jaina with that mix, actually a Kelthas in this case. Jaina is being played by Bob, and Bob in general playing this here on Battlefield of Eternity with a Nazebo, with a Jaina. They pick Charism again, and they have also a double warrior set up very early in the draft, committing to Arthas plus Muradin. And this is a draft that they really like, or an opening into the draft that they also like to use on a map like Haunted Mines. So maps where the early game is kind of important, where all these brawly positions, like in Haunted Mines, of course, the lower part of the mines here on Battlefield of Eternity, it is the immortal area, and that is exactly what Bob prefers to play on such maps. They really like these two warriors here, and that's why they picked them early on. When we're looking at the other side of Alternate Fancy, though, they have a pretty solid setup here. I mean, not only do they have the Kelthas, which helps them with the Phoenix and also with the chain bombs, Zeratul himself is awesome, and they're also running a Johanna here, so pretty solid setup for both of the teams. This time it's no triple warrior, but we also have a Tyrael now in the mix, and if you pick a Tyrael against Alternate Fancy, then that has of course already two things that you accomplish with that. First of all, you can kind of pick it away from your opponent, since, well, we all know that Bob loves to play Tyrael, and second of all, you have the choice between Judgment and Sanctification. Both of these ultimates, both of these heroic abilities are extremely powerful depending on how you want to play your composition. So in this case, guys, we're going to jump into game number 4, potentially the last map of the series here. Let's find out if Alternate Fancy can tie the series again, or if Bob is going to crown themselves the champion of the Enter the Storm 3. The fourth game, and potentially also the last game. A 2-1 lead for Bob in the best of 5 series here at the Enter the Storm Grand Final, and it could end all after this game if Bob takes it. Alternate Fancy starting to the left side with Darkmog on Zeratul, with Nurok on Tyrael, Crosby on Kelthas, Uther, played by Gerdam Herd, and Blumby on Johanna. They need to win this now. They need to win 2 in a row if they want to crown themselves the ETS 3 champion. But Bob, they want to finish them off right here on Battlefield of Eternity. To the right side, they start with Ethereal Angel on Muradin, Zarmany on Arthas. We have Snitch on Nazebo, Bakery on Charism again, and Jaina played by ADRD. So Darkmog actually going in this game for Season Marksman. I don't really mind the talent too much. I mean, it's not the strongest talent here on this map in particular. Battlefield of Eternity is a pretty bad map for it, but in long and drawn out fights you actually get some kind of damage for it, and the alternatives that you have there are reduction on the cooldown and also block. Very few players would go into Regeneration Master here on the map, on Zeratul at least. A few still do though, and in this case Darkmog decides to go for the damage, no matter if it's going to be a bit slower or not. So we are seeing them starting to move straight into the middle, or in this case at the bot lane, and going to try and push Bakery back here. Bakery secured himself again Charism, and he's extremely strong on the hero, and he's of course going to try and use those Divine Palms again in the last second to really help his team out. The guys are very, very strong with this one, and I'm very curious to see which team is going to take it out. Because let's just face it, this is going to be pretty damn awesome. They fought so hard to get here, and in this case now we're having them both play on the... Oh, Gert! Oh, that was a close call, but Bob is taken out first. Nice kill here. The first blood in this case on the side of Team Alternate Fancy. A good start into this game. They actually have a pretty nice setup here as well, especially of course with not only Johanna but also having that Kelthas in there together with Zeratul. They can do so much damage, and Zeratul can just be that guy that jumps in after Kelthas delivered his bombs and tries to take down the weakest link. Something that you should actually try and do. Up to the top, we are currently seeing Nurok and Zarmany, still two of the tanks facing each other with the demonic Tyrael skin on Nurok, and the first few immortals in the middle of the map. Here they are, and we have Crosby and his boys are still ready, but Darkmok is getting locked down, and he needs to be super careful here. Blink is still ready for him, so he could jump away, but he doesn't have to. They're already threatening to take another kill off Bob, and but therefore Bob moves back. But they turn around and drop Johanna, so nice kill here for them. And they start to take a lead, and if they also take down Gerd, that would be great, but they lose Muradin, and Bakery is attempting to drop Gerd, but he has only one dash available, is now rushing away, has of course still, he's getting Gravity Labs. There is Harmony trying to help him out with a Howling Blast, but yeah, dashes away just for now, so the distance is all that he needs at this point. But Darkmok is jumping in, and he hits everything that he needs, or does he? Oh, that was close. That was really close. So the Immortals are still being fought over, and they didn't lose too many hit points yet. It is currently ATN Fancy that starts to move in to drop the HP on the red Immortal. We are still seeing level 4 talents for both the teams here in play, and with those they are actually able to get a bit more damage out, especially when it comes to, of course, Destruction talent. Gerd is playing such a close game here, like twice he was already low, but it's again Karazhan that dies. Bakery now for the second time, 3 kills against 1, and up at the top it's finally another takedown also on the side of Team Bob. They killed Johanna. Johanna now dropped twice in this game, and a super aggressive game in between these two teams. I mean, right from the start, they're really just trying to dish out as much damage as they possibly can. With Snitch, we are currently seeing Bob with a great hero for just like poke damage over time, can always throw in those spiders, the toads, make sure that he gets a bit of damage in while the rest of the team is just trying to defend him. And if you are going for the Immortals, then this is an absolutely invaluable asset that you have there. Adam Herd is again far out, and this time nobody is there to help him. That is exactly the wrong bush to face check, and he moved in and got taken out, and now of course the defense and the potential kill against Kel'Thas, the stun, and goodbye. Another kill for Bob, 4 kills against 3, and they can rotate over to the right side where Snitch is already getting busy and drop that Immortal, but they're trying to still prevent this one from dying. So yep, first one ends up in the hands of Team Bob. Well played here, they get it. They will have the Immortal move to the top lane most likely, and at this point already a few more regeneration globes here in the mid lane that they were able to secure, and it is a rotation to the bot lane where they are going to try and make their play. The Immortal, by the way, not moving up to the top lane in this case, so down to the bottom lane. We have Retaliation talent taken again on the side of Johanna, in case that you guys were wondering. So it's a pretty popular build, especially this weekend, and they may move in again. Level 7s are going to drop very, very soon, and in this last game Darkmok is super low, and that is the wrong time to die, buddy. Nurok is jumping away. Well, he has of course the opportunity to just use his Eldruin's Might to go back to safety, but that Immortal is still doing a lot of work, and they already went through the entire wall, and they not only secured themselves level 7, but also some damage against the 4 tier. The anti-Zeratul talent has been taken, Frost Armor now the weapon of choice on Jaina, and at the same time we are also seeing the top lane, again with Bloomby and Zarmany, just going up against each other. The Toads have been taken on level 7, so we're also going to see the Toads of Hugeness on level 13 to get a bit of damage out. You give out Gibbin for it, but it's totally worth it here. Looking at the setup in general, I kind of doubt a bit that we are going to see the... well, I'm actually thinking about the Ravenous Spirit at this point, but with the Judgment potentially happening on on Tyrael, I don't think that's going to happen. But, well, time will tell. For now, we have actually the fight at the Khaldor camp here down at the bot lane. And again, a potential kill against Nurok, but now we get safe. But wow, Darkmok! And they get the kill. Well played. Zeratul is really one of those characters. It doesn't really matter which team plays Zeratul, but the opponent is always hunting him down so hard. The hate is real. And in the last game, it was already Snitch that they were trying to get from the get-go. But in this game now, it is Darkmok that they're just hunting down by every opportunity. So yeah, they get another kill against him, and that's in total now 6 kills against 3. And also a Khaldor camp now starting to push in. We have Fission Bomb taken on level 7 for ATN Fancy. They're running this, of course, in this case now with a follow-through. So this is the full damage build that we're seeing. Compare that to what Snitch has been playing with a few adjustments on level 1 Regeneration Master and level 7 then the attempt to go straight into the extra self-sustain with First Aid. So it's a build that gets a lot more damage out for Darkmok, but only if he's able to stay alive. And that's exactly what he's struggling with right now. But if he is able to jump the backline, he can dish out a ton of damage, and that's the whole idea here. So we have level 9 versus level 8. Again, they're jumping up to the top. The Immortals are already on the map. And as you can see over here, ATN is this time taking out a 4-man rotation, and that was a bit too strong, not too much for him. So that leaves them for 10 seconds down a hero, and it's exactly what the blue team needs now. They're defending their own Immortal, and they're trying to push this back to maybe get another kill, but Crosby misses the gravity lapse since Ethereal Angel jumps back a tiny bit too fast. The move to the left side, they're going already for the Immortal. There Crosby is trying to get the damage, whilst the rest of the team is currently trying to make sure that this one is being defended. Yeah, also Johanna starting to move in, and where is that Condemn? Using it right now, sucking everybody in. More damage, get on the run. Pushing Zarmany back, and down here we have a bit of a brawl happening right now. The level 10s aren't there just yet, and the kill potentially against Norok. He tries to take Snitch with him, and he gets it! He gets the explosion. Snitch is dead, but so is Khaldor. So it's still a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Bob, and they have the level 10 abilities with Gary the Gargantuan, Divine Palm taken, the Water Elemental, Army of the Dead, and also Avatar, and they get another Immortal, and this guy is going to have full shields. Holy crap. He's gonna have full shields, and he is going to do a ton of work at the bot lane. At the top lane, they can even push this one in. We now have Judgment taken, there's a Phoenix in play, Divine Shield, Blessed Shield, and Void Prison. And with all these talents, those are great talents for the next team fight, but the Immortal that is going to end up here in a second, this guy means business. With this much of a shield, they just need to protect him for as long as possible, and they should be able to get a lot of damage done here. It's a 5-man commitment to the top lane, and only 2 heroes are still in the middle. They are starting to rotate over, but look at that Immortal. The range attack alone does so much. Only 1 hero caught by the Void Prism, but they're still jumping on Jaina, and there was no Bakery, no Divine Palm, no heals. So a great kill to start this fight off. The Immortal still going ham on top of that fort, and it's the kill against Uther. A 4 versus 4 situation right now. The team's still fighting around the Immortal here, but the fort is already gone, and the Immortal, like, he is showing no mercy. Structure after structure gets taken apart, and he is going to fall eventually here, but he already did everything that he was supposed to do. So now we have one of the forts eliminated. Bakery is already moving up to the top to take the Khaldor camp with the rest of this team. We're seeing at the bot lane Zeratul trying to soak some additional experience. 9 kills against 6. And ATN is currently doing the exact same thing. Soak experience, have 1 team over there, but to the top lane, the fight happening again, and Crosby is down. Khaldor's dead, Norok about to die, and now they're just going for Blumby, and they are eliminating him as well. A good kill against Arthur's at least. Oh wow, Blumby is still alive here, and they get Karazim now. They turn around, the Divine Shield saved him, and then he uses the Blessed Shield. I can't believe that they get those 2 kills. They lose Zeratul again. Zeratul is becoming the punching ball of Bob in this game. Ethereal Angel is trying to drop Gerd. So much pressure now on these boys. I mean, right now they know that if they don't make it here, that then they only take 2nd place. That is still worth $3,000, and also a full set of peripherals with headset, with a keyboard, and also mouse of Rocket. But at the same time, you want to take that 1st place. It's not only because you get twice the amount of prize money, $6,000 in total, but at the same time you're also in a position where you are the champion. You want to get the championship here, but Bob is doing everything right now. Strong rotations on the map, kill after kill after kill. Very meticulous play of them. They are currently looking at the level 30 talents with the Biting Cold. With the first Ice Block, we have a Relentless taken now for Karazim. That should help him a bit more against these attempted stun lockdowns that we are seeing. And we have also 1 Ice Block for Jaina. The level 13 talent is going to be ready for well, ATN Fancy in a few seconds. The problem for them is still that we have the 2nd fort already eliminated, and Gerd is over here. We have now Chain Bombs, and this is where things are starting to become important. Chain bombs for them give them an opportunity to bounce back into this if they get a decent setup for it. So they have chain bombs, imposing will, wormhole, shrink ray, and a spell shield that they can use for this one. And they're moving in once again. Over here already, the fight raging. Gravity lapse against Arthur's in the back line. The Void Prism isolating them. Ethereal Angel and ATN just moving in, not really caring too much. And here come the chain bombs once more and eliminating most of the Army of the Dead. Oh my god, that Condemn was amazing! Divine Shield keeping her alive, but unfortunately not enough follow-up damage to drop Bob. But that was a sick setup that we just saw there from Johanna. But again they are struggling, again they are moving back, again they have to well up, and in the meantime the Immortal is getting dropped to half health. Blumby moves in again with a condemn. Here comes Judgment trying to push them away. That didn't really work as intended. Zarmany already low, very low, but still alive, and even the Phoenix couldn't change that. So they have the Phoenix in play here. We're having, of course, also again 13 versus 14, that slight lead in experience, and they had to move away there, but the red team is attempting to at least put some pressure in. That Immortal is on half health, and this is starting to become a real big problem here for Team Alternate Fancy. Zeratul is extremely low, like he needs to get back, but look at those chain bombs. Oh my god, Aethero Angel is dropping extremely low. Zarmany also dropped quite a few HP, and this is definitely not the fight that they want to fight here. But they have to do something. The Immortal is about to get taken out again, and that is Immortal number 3 in favor of Bob. Bob is controlling the objectives with every single move they make right now. And in experience, the Immortal is going to push the top lane again. We're already having AD defending right over there. There's not going to be a talent lead, but the Immortal has so many shields, and the longer the game lasts, the more game time has been spent, the stronger the Immortals become. They just scale over time, and this is a problem that Alternate Fancy doesn't really want to deal with. They are still behind. They're still trailing behind here, and this is actually getting extremely tricky now. Because right now, this game is that counts. It's a 2-1 lead for Bob already. They need to win this game. If they want to have a chance to win the tournament, they need to win it right now. And the Void Prison is setting them up. They're trying to go for it. The Immortal is already at the wall, and they go straight in. The Aethero Angel is being attacked. Divine Shield deployed, and they are trying to save Johanna for now, and that is successful. But the Immortal is still doing his thing, and Crosby up at the top, he dies. Split from the rest of the team. Norog and Crosby, they are dead. So is Blackscorp. He is getting eliminated as well. Blackscorp, what am I saying? Zeratul. In my head, it's already the same thing. Zeratul gets taken out here. No, he did not switch teams, of course. Level 16 talents now, and that is Circle of Life, Numbing Blast, Leaping Spiders. Actually, an interesting talent here that we have still the Ice Block taken over the Toad build that they went for. And a kill on Uther. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks more and more like we have a champion after taking down Team Liquid in the losers bracket. It is Team Bob. They win the series. They win the grand final. They take it with a 3-1 against Alternate Fancy. The champion of the End of the Storm 3 is Bob. And we have a champion, ladies and gentlemen. Bob takes it with a 3-1. They are victorious on the last map. They win the best of 5 series, the grand final at the End of the Storm 3, and they take $6,000 in prize money, plus an Alienware PC as well. Still second place, we have Alternate Fancy. They win $3,000 and also a complete setup of peripherals from Rocket. So congratulations to both of the teams, but pretty impressive performance here by Bob. In the winner bracket final, they couldn't make it happen. They lost to Alternate Fancy, but they got their revenge now in the grand final. We're finally able to turn Alternate Fancy to dust in those last 2 maps and take the lead and claim the series. Really well done. Congratulations again to Bob. Great performance here. And guys, that's it for the End of the Storm, at least for End of the Storm 3. We are of course going to have End of the Storm 4, and then we're going to see all these amazing teams back to action. I hope that you enjoyed the entire tournament and also the coverage, and especially here the last final matches that we saw. Today we had some great games, 4 maps in total, and they were pretty cool. We've seen really nice heroes here as well, even Chen making an appearance, and other heroes like Sonya as well, Karazim being played quite a bit, triple warrior compositions. So it was a pretty cool day. Hope that you liked the video. Keep in mind, if you really enjoyed the commentary, then also give the video a thumbs up on YouTube. I hope that you enjoyed the series, guys. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. It was a pleasure casting for you here. I'm going to see you soon on the channel once again with more Heroes of the Storm content, more Heroes of the Storm action. We'll have a lot more tournaments coming up and also a couple of guides in the near future. So thank you very much again for tuning in, and see you guys soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.